The road that I've been walking, it's taking quite a toll on me.
Okay, today we're going to be talking about something that I love to talk about, and that's communication. I studied it for an undergrad, and I got my master's degree in communication as well. And so today I want to talk about 3 concepts that we can apply into every relationship and every conversation that we have that will significantly make those conversations better. It doesn't take long in a conversation, even with a stranger, to come across a topic that can be divisive. And usually the topics are divisive because they are central to a person's identity. And so think of something like religion or politics, or even something, like parenting styles are as benign as a hobby. If it hits close to their identity and you disagree, then it can get uncomfortable. So everything I'm about to say right now, I got from someone else. And I mean, you've probably already realized that I don't have a lot of original thought. Pretty much everything I talk about, I got from someone else. But I couldn't, for the life of me, remember where I found this. I Googled it and everything, but I just wrote down these 3 words, and they've changed my life. I just don't know who said them. But the 3 words are compassion, curiosity, and acceptance. And I want to quickly define these 3 terms, not because you don't know what they mean, but because it's nice to have a refresher and to kind of apply these terms into the context that I'm talking about. So compassion is more than just kind of like feeling sorry for, or this feeling of pity. Compassion is not pity, it's not sympathy. It's more like empathy and kindness, and really putting yourself in their shoes and understand where the person is coming from. Okay? And curiosity is kind of self-explanatory, but in this context, bringing curiosity into a relationship or a conversation it's about asking genuine questions and being genuinely curious, not just asking questions so that you can refute their perspective, but to actually want to understand. And last, acceptance. This one is also kind of self-explanatory, but it's good to walk into the conversation or relationship understanding that, or accepting that they are the way that they are. They're probably not going to change, and it's definitely not going to be you that changes them. So having acceptance of who they are and where they're at and being okay with that, that is a huge part of these 3 concepts. So there's a quote from a book written by Stephen Covey, and to be completely honest, I haven't read this book, so take this for what it's worth, but I know one of the habits is seek to understand, then to be understood. And like I said, I haven't read this book, but if it were up to me, I would change that quote or that habit, that guidance, and say, seek to understand, and just leave it at that. And the reason being is that you can't force someone to understand you. And if a person's not interested in understanding you, it's never going to happen. It doesn't matter if the words come out of your mouth. It doesn't matter if it seems like they're listening. If they're not interested in understanding you, if they're not coming to the conversation with the intention, with the idea that they will understand you or they want to understand you, it's just not going to happen. And so it's not up to you to seek to be understood. It's up to you to seek to understand. For example, I have this person in my life, and they never really seem to care to know what I think. Like when I'm talking to them, they are so obsessed with getting their point across that they almost run out of breath trying to get the words out of their mouth. And while they do, I guess, listen to what I have to say, it's obvious that when they are listening, they're not really listening. They are just thinking. They're just not talking while they think about what they're gonna say next. And so I've just decided that with this person, it's not worth seeking to be understood. I still approach the conversations and these interactions with this person with curiosity, compassion, and acceptance. But like I said, I don't think that it's up to us to seek to be understood, especially if that person, doesn't really care to understand. But it has been my experience, take it for what it's worth, but it has been my experience that if we can come into these relationships, any relationship we have, with curiosity, compassion, and acceptance, that we will have a better outcome. We will walk away from these conversations, these relationships that we all have, where we disagree with this person, but we'll walk away from the interaction feeling calm and collected rather than triggered and agitated. And I present the curiosity, compassion, and acceptance because I think it's honestly one of the easiest things you can do to almost instantly improve relationships and conversations with anyone. Because those three words are so easy to remember. And at least for me, the difference that it's made in my life has been dramatic and seriously almost overnight. And so I share this not as an expert, but as someone that has seen a huge improvement in my life, and I just wanted to share it. So take it for what it's worth, but from one person to another that has relationships that I want to have that are strained because of different topics, different reasons, this made a huge difference in my life. So there you go.